and Assalamualaikum. Welcome to another episode of Quick and Easy Cooking with Mimi. I'm Mimi. I've been using the Thermomix since 30th of July 2018. I'm also a Thermomix advisor since October 2018 and a team leader since mid 2019. So I love my Thermomix. I've been a working mom for most of my life. I have 6 children and I practically never had a chance to cook for them. I was just so busy all the time, and the most I could do was I would make them a birthday cake every year because I wanted to create some memories, that when you grow up, I knew I couldn't cook on a daily basis because I was so busy, but I thought at the very least every year on their birthday I could make that thing for them. But now that they've grown up and they've outgrown all the fancy decorated cakes, and now I have had the opportunity to cook for them and get them to try and enjoy all sorts of things. So I know for many moms out there, we all have different loads. Some of us have to work, some have to work from home, some are full-time household managers, which is probably the most taxing and the most stressful job there is. And some of us have to cook on a daily basis. Some of us, we can only cook on weekends. Some of us have house helpers, some of us don't. So if you don't have anybody to assist you, Thermomix is like having an extra pair of hands in the kitchen. If you have all the people to assist you, Thermomix will help you create memories with your children through the food that you eat. And of course, if you have a man in your life, as they say, the best way to a man's stomach is to a man's heart is always through his stomach. So enough talk as an introduction. So if you just joined right now, today we are going to make cheesy chicken nuggets. So very easy. We're going to do it from scratch. First things first, we are going to grate our mozzarella cheese. And then I have some old bread here, which I want to make into breadcrumbs. And then later on, we're gonna peel the garlic and then crush it together with our carrots. And then we're gonna add our chicken to it. The chicken will also be ground, and we're gonna make them into nuggets. So everything from scratch. So the benefit of buying whole cheese is you get pure cheese, 100%. And if you buy the pre-grated ones, I mean, no judgment here, but if you don't have the time, go ahead and buy it. But if you can, it's best to buy and grate yourself, because the pre-grated ones contain some sort of chemical to keep it from clumping together. And of course, the less chemicals we put into our bodies, the better, right? So we have here some cheese. Oh my goodness. So as you can see here, my Thermomix is shutting down because I haven't been using it for about 10-15 minutes. It's one of the safety features. At the same time, it's an energy saving feature. So to turn it back on, we just press the on and off button, which is also the selector button right here, and it will start up. I've removed this is called our measuring cup and our mixing bowl lid. I've removed it because I'm gonna chuck in our cheese in here and grate it. So our bowl is empty right now. Right? I've got my spatula ready. So the nice thing about the mixing bowl is it's made of stainless steel, so it can handle all sorts of ingredients and the smell won't transfer from one to the other. So with the same bowl and the same blade, I actually make ice cream, I make drinks, I make nuggets, everything. Okay, so now I just want to show you how to weigh it. So when I swipe, this is the home screen. The home screen shows 3 circles. This one is for the time, it's for minutes and seconds. This is for the temperature, it goes from 0 to steaming temperature. And then over here is the speed. And if I swipe it here, we will be able to access the recipes through the cookiedo.international platform. It's still waking up, so you don't see it yet. Oh, there it is. So we can manually it can show us the latest recipes that there are, and also we can search for it here in the we can search for recipes as and when we need to. But for today, I'm going to do a manual one just to show you. So when we swipe from the home screen, when we swipe this way, we see the other automated functions. So now I'm going to call on the weighing scale and just to weigh just to see how much. So we have about 100 grams of mozzarella cheese. Today we are making cheesy chicken nuggets. So this is going to be our cheesy filling. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grind this for 5 seconds on speed 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds. So you can tap on the circle to activate it, or you can also use the selector button. So now I wanted to go to speed 7, so I'm just going to turn consistently until I get to speed 7. And that sound tells me the work's done. So when we turn the speed, we always set it last, because the moment we set the speed, the moment we stop, the Thermomix will immediately start. So there it is, beautiful grated cheese, super easy. So I'm just gonna set this aside because we're only using it later, and I'm not gonna wash our bowl because everything will go together anyway. So if you need to wash in between, depending on what you're cooking, you can use the pre-clean function. I love the pre-clean function, where you only need to add about half a liter of water. So this is our bowl now, and now I'm gonna work on our breadcrumbs instead. So I set aside our cheese, and I'm gonna work on our bread. So for the bread, we need to break it up to about, so this is old bread. There was a time when I was so busy, my mom bought some bread and my kids didn't want to buy store-bought bread anymore, so I just want to finish it up. So you can also do the same with homemade bread, because homemade bread doesn't last long, and which is good, because you know, the longer food lasts, that means they put in something to make it last, right? So you have to cut it to about 1 inch, about something like this, about 1 inch squares. So you can use this for stale bread also, like if the bread, not moldy bread, but if the bread has gone a bit hard. So this is about 70 grams of bread, and for this we need about, I think about 5 seconds on speed 7 as well. So that's 5 seconds. Okay, super fast. So you can use breadcrumbs. This is the breadcrumbs. So the many uses of breadcrumbs, you can use it not only as breading for whatever you're cooking, but you can also use it to bind your ingredients together. Like for example, when you want to make meatballs, you can also add a little bit to your meat, and it will bind the meat together, because there will be like extra moisture, and it's a good way of binding your meat. So this is quite a lot. It's a lot bigger than my. So I'm gonna mix it with my other bowl in here. So that's wholemeal bread. So some of these will go into my actual nuggets, and some of it will be used as breading. So I've emptied my bowl, but I'm not cleaning it either. So now we're gonna start with our garlic, and these are 2 cloves unpeeled, and I'm gonna show you how to peel it. So we just dump it in here, and for this one I'm gonna do about 4 seconds reverse, because you can reverse the blade of the Thermomix, and speed 5. There you go. So let's see what happened to our garlic. So it has peeled our garlic beautifully. So now all we need to do is to take out the skin Forgot to take my tongs today, but I'm only touching the skin and the skin doesn't smell. So I have my garlic here, and they're not quite chopped, but they're still big. So what I'm gonna do is to scrape it down, and I'm going to blend these 2 cloves of garlic into tiny bits, because garlic tastes good with food, but if you bite into a large piece, it's not very pleasant, whether you're an adult or a child. So I'm gonna do 2 seconds, speed 6. And let's see what happened. Beautiful. 2 seconds, speed 6. So I'm gonna scrape this down, and now I'm going to add my hidden ingredient. Not so secret anymore among my children. The first time I made this, they were quite shocked. So we're gonna add in our sneaky carrots. So this is one to add more nutrition, obviously, but at the same time it will add a nice color, and carrots are naturally sweet, so it would add both flavor and texture and color to our nuggets. Because if you make it plain chicken, it's not very pretty, but with carrots it will look pinkish. So I think for this one we do 5 seconds, speed 6. Super duper easy, right? So we're making everything from scratch today. Oh, beautiful. See our carrots. Okay, so I'm just gonna scrape it down. Literally just push it down with a spatula, which comes with your Thermomix. And then I'm gonna add in our chicken. Oh, but first things first, before we add in the chicken, I'm just gonna share with you a few pointers. So I'm using boneless, skinless, fatless chicken breast. So it has to be, for you to be able to grind it more easily, it has to be slightly firm, like partially frozen. So as you can see, it's still a bit hard, but not so hard that I cannot slice it. And then you slice it to about this size. The guideline is always the size of the hole of the mixing bowl lid. So I have this piece. If it can go to the hole, then that's just the right size. So I'm gonna cut up the rest of my chicken. This is about 3 chicken breasts. So let's activate our weighing scale. So it's about this size. And it goes. It's still a bit hard. I've cut up some. So that's about 289. So I have a little bit more left. So it doesn't have to be breast, but something without skin and without bone. So you can use breast or fillet, but the thing with fillet is you have to remove the white connective tissue. So I'm just going to set this aside and wash my hands just a bit. And this one I'm going to grind this for about 5 seconds on speed 5. So this is, wait, I forgot to see the weight. This is about 450 grams approximately. That's 3 chicken breasts. So we do 5 seconds, speed 5. Done. So you don't need to buy minced chicken. In fact, I strongly urge you not to buy minced chicken, because minced chicken has a lot of fat, but this one is pure meat, so it's still quite big. I can continue to chop it some more. I think speed 5 is too coarse. I will go speed 6 with this one. I will just scrape it down to make it finer. I'd say another 5 seconds on speed 6. So this is a nice thing about using your Thermomix often. You get to play around with the settings. Sounds much better. Okay, so let's take a peek. Yeah. See the wonderful color that the carrot gives us? So this is going to be a lot. So now all we need to do, so if we want, we can actually add a bit of our breadcrumbs. I'm just going to do it to show you that it can be done. We don't need to add any more. You can add cream cheese to this. You can add, oh, I'm adding salt and pepper. Pink Himalayan rock salt and pepper because my kids are quite big now and they can take the pepper. If you have smaller kids, maybe you might want to skip the pepper. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of breadcrumbs as a binder. Let's see, probably 10 grams just. Maybe you can go up to about 50 grams, but let's make it 20. This is totally optional, yeah, especially if you are on a gluten-free diet. And I'm gonna scrape off the carrots that are on top. And just scrape everything down, and then I'm going to activate kneading. I think I'm gonna knead this for about 30 seconds. So I'm gonna call out the kneading function, that's dough. And I'll set it at 30 seconds. Doesn't need to be long. And just turn it on. So super easy. So while this is kneading, I'm gonna get ready my cheese filling. I have the breadcrumbs to cover the whole thing, and I have my egg. So what I'm going to do is I'll take a scoop of the meat, dip it in beaten egg, dip it in the breadcrumbs. Oh, we're done. I'm not even done talking yet. Merci beaucoup, Thermomix. Et voila. It's beautiful. So this is the reason why we need the meat, the chicken meat, to be slightly firm, so that it's easier for us to handle it. If it's too soft, it would not be easy to, it would be like sticky and all, and when you want to shape it, then you have to chill it for a bit in the freezer. But because it's still partially frozen, then it's easy for me to handle the meat. So now I have my beaten egg, I have my breadcrumbs, and I also have a tray with this is a reusable silicone mat. You can also use your non-stick paper or parchment paper. This is just because just to show you that how it should be spaced apart. I will just shape it first so that you can see how it looks like. So I'm just gonna get a large spoonful of meat, and because we want it to be filled with cheese, I'm going to flatten this a little bit, and then I put in a big pinch of cheese, and to cover that up, so we have a huge ball of meat with some cheese in the middle. Okay, and then we dip it in our beaten egg. So you can use your fork if you wish. It's going to be messy either way. So you roll it around in the beaten egg, and then you dip it in the breadcrumbs. So for the breadcrumbs, you have to put a lot so it's easier to handle it. Okay, now you have your ball. I don't recommend you cooking the ball because it will take too long to cook. We want it to cook evenly all sides. So you just have to like flatten it slightly, and you can have it circle or whatever shape you like. If you want it to be like to look like one of those commercial nuggets, then you can shape it just like something like that. So now I'm gonna make just a bit more to show you how we're gonna do the rest. So it's about this much. This is what the Malays call aga-aga only. Up to you how big you want it. And I put in the cheese. So if you don't have mozzarella, you can also use cheddar. But cheddar, mind you, it's a bit more salty, so you might want to cut down the salt that you add to the meat. Mozzarella would be a nice you know, nice cheesy texture when you bite on it after cooking it because it melts, right? So again, we dip the ball in the beaten egg and then dip it in the breadcrumbs. So have your mixture of white and wholemeal bread. And then you can flatten it. So this is a great activity to do with the kids during CMCO. Once my live session is done, I'm actually gonna call on my twin boys to help me. They are quite camera shy and refuse to get in front of the camera, but off camera they are very good in the kitchen. So there you go. So I'm just gonna make just at least one more, and then I'm gonna show you. Okay, so the reason why we put it on that mat is I want to show you that that's how you freeze our nuggets. So you need to put it into the freezer first and firm it up just slightly before you put it in some other container like a Tupperware or Ziploc bag. Because if you put it in straight away into one bag, they're gonna clump together and it will be hard for you to handle it. So it's like you flash freeze it for a bit, and then once it has firmed up and they don't stick to each other, only then you transfer to a different bag. So super easy, right? And with about half a kilo or 450 grams of chicken breast, that's 3 pieces of chicken breast, you're gonna get a lot. You're gonna get like 2 trayfuls of chicken nuggets. So, and if you're to buy it outside, easily can cost, I don't know, 30 ringgit maybe. So try to make it the same size so that they will cook evenly. And you can be creative as you want. You can even use cookie cutters to get the shape. It's like, so you put the cookie cutter on the mat and then you put in the meat, and so that when you squish the meat it will take on the shape of the cookie cutter. Okay, so just let me wash my hands. And this is how it's gonna look like. So you space them apart and you put them in the freezer if you want to freeze it, so you can keep some. Maybe if it's too much, half a kilo of meat is too much for one sitting, then you put this in the freezer. Once it has hardened, you take them out, you put them in a Ziploc bag, and then you store it for whenever you need it. Alternatively, if you're ready to cook it, you can cook this straight away. Again, because the meat is firm, because it's semi-frozen, see, I can hold it nicely, and you can either bake it or fry it, totally up to you. So do give this a try, because it's really, really, really good. You haven't tasted chicken nuggets until you've tasted these homemade nuggets. Super simple ingredients, and they're much better than commercially made ones, which we don't know what's inside. And then it's a great activity to do with the kids as well. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of Quick and Easy Cooking with Mimi. I would appreciate if you can give me some comments on what you'd like to see me do in the coming days. CMCO in KL has been extended until the 7th of November, so that means I'll be doing more of these videos every day for the duration of the CMCO. So thank you so much for joining me today. Assalamualaikum and good afternoon everyone. Bye bye.